Get to making with jive or station. When it hits you, yes.
Bougie Duchess here. Finally, I'm having a show with a live guest. This is my café con leche. Here's our cup of coffee.
Hola.
Cheers.
Hola.
¿Cómo está, everybody? Enjoy. Okay, so this is my guest. Her name is Sabrina, a longtime friend of mine. I've known her for 10 years. She is a metaphysical, a teacher, and a medium. And today we're going to have all kinds of conversations about it. And hi, Abby. Hi, Neil. How are you doing? If you have any questions, just be sure to type it in. We can read them. But anyway, so this is Sabrina. And just a little bit of background. I met her 10 years ago when I first came into recovery. Ooh, that's no surprise. You guys know that I'm in recovery, and I celebrated 10 years this week on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday or Monday? Monday. It was Monday. The 10th. On the 12th. On Monday.
So much for my alert.
Yes.
On my phone.
It's been crazy. This COVID-19 has really thrown everything out of whack in the time-space continuum. And I'm sure that you
First,
know.
let me say happy birthday, Fran.
Oh.
I love you. You're like family to me. We've gone through a lot.
Oh my God.
And I am so proud of this. I am so proud of her. She's amazing. She's an artist. I feel like I need to interview you. She's an artist. Look at her. She looks amazing today.
Thank you. Thank you. So, anyway, so, there's been a lot going on, in the country. And so one of the things that I did in response to the COVID-19 is, I sit here alone with Crazy, and Crazy's talked back to me and says, hey, instead of just talking to yourself like you do, why don't you start a little YouTube channel and start doing this stuff live? And so all of a sudden, that's how the Bougie Duchess came into existence.
Right.
And so now I'm wanting to take it to the next level, and I would like to start interviewing people, and I want to start making like some products and merchandise. Now I'm a big fan. I remember when we went camping, so I'm going to throw some tea out here. We went camping. I hated camping. I hated it. But I brought baby wipes with me, and I brought peppermint lotion, which was good to keep the bugs off of us.
Who knew?
And so I want to do a product line of, peppermint soaps and peppermint lotions for invigorating the skin, along with lavender soaps and lavender lotions for calming down the skin. Yeah, and I love a whole holistic approach to living. So if I can find a natural way of dealing with life on life's terms, that's what I do. That's how I try and figure things out.
Well, I studied aromatherapy, so I know a lot about the different properties that aromatherapy contains.
Could you?
Different ones. Geranium. You can put some geranium on your palm, on the palms of your hands, rub your hands together, breathe it in. It's great for anxiety. Lavender. I also studied auriculotherapy. That has to do with the pressure points of the ears. And if you look at your ear, you would look at your ear like an upside down fetus. So here's your head.
Oh.
This is your spine. This is the top of. This is where your feet and legs are. For sinuses. So you can take lavender oil and you can just go inside your ears and massage them. You can see that I have seeds in my ear right now.
Oh, you do?
These are seeds. And
Well, I thought they were Band-Aids.
Yep, they're like little Band-Aids. But these little Band-Aids help curb my appetite. So they're very powerful.
Oh.
So that's
I need to curb my appetite.
So that's auriculotherapy. And then, of course, reflexology has to do with the head, then it has to do with feet. And I know everyone knows this one.
Oh, God, yes. When I first adopted Bo 2 years ago, of course, I rescued him from a shelter, and he was so broken and skittish and had all of these complications going on. And one of the first things I started doing was I would take lavender oil and rub it on him to calm him down.
I remember you calling me.
Yeah, and I put peppermint in his water. Now the peppermint that I use is from McCormick, and it's got like a little bit of alcohol in it, but it tends to, it evaporates. And I just put a couple of drops into a whole bowl full of water. Helps his digestive system really, really great. So, for me, my lifestyle has changed dramatically, where I once induced all kinds of chemicals. Whatever kind of chemical you might have had, I would be more than happy to take.
There's such thing as a bad chemical. Only hairspray if you get it in your eyes.
Yeah, but today I really do. I try and find the natural alternative. Like my hair care products. When we were camping, I lent you guys the conditioner. I make it out of carrot oil, vitamin B complex.
Amazing.
Yeah, some of the stuff, and it's what allows my hair, because I've got that thin, fragile hair, and it allows it to grow a little bit longer. This is 6 years worth of growth,
Wow. It maintains the curl and shine.
So, yeah.
So let's talk about metaphysics.
Let's talk. I have a few questions.
Supernatural.
Oh, that's kind of spooky. Now, I personally have some experiences, in my life, because when I was young, my mom died, and so, I was always talking to what I believed was my mom being in the room. And I think the biggest part of metaphysics is believing, because if you don't believe, it doesn't matter what anybody says to you. A non-believer is a non-believer all day long. It's like an atheist. You can sit there and tell them that there's a God. You can show them the proof, because I think the proof is, look at the planet. Look at the universe. Look at your hands. There's the proof. But if you don't want to see the evidence, then you're just going to argue to argue.
I think most everyone I know has seen or experienced, either seen an apparition, a spirit. A lot of people call them ghosts, but they're just spirits, like you said. You mentioned talking to your mother, or have felt presence in the room with them and it frightened you and you weren't really sure what it was. So because everything is energy, after our bodies die, we go on. Why wouldn't we feel the energy around us? Everything is energy. And a lot of people that I teach, because I've been teaching workshops for 15 years, they'll say, well, one person might say, well, I don't know if I believe in that. What's a good example of ESP? Well, haven't you ever thought about someone and the phone rings and it's them? Yes. Haven't you ever thought about someone you haven't seen in a long time and then you see them? Is it a coincidence? I don't know. Like you said, some skeptics would say yes. I say absolutely not. There are no mistakes, no accidents. Everything happens for a reason. And if you look around, the universe has lots and lots of signs that will help you, that will lead you and guide you, in the direction that you want to go. Meditation is one of the most important things that I've implemented in the metaphysical walk. I've been seeing spirits since I was 3. I was never afraid of them.
That was going to be my next question.
Yes.
At what age did this start for you?
3. Probably like the same age as you. 3 years old.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I would wake up and they would be standing around my bed. They could see me, I could see them. They would smile, they were smiling. I could see a light around them, and they knew I could see them. And I would take my stuffed animals and I would put them around my head, because for some reason I felt safe with the stuffed animals around my head. And then later on, when I began to study metaphysics at the age of 15, I realized what I was doing was surrounding myself with that white light that I teach. How to surround yourself with white light. When you're going into a room, when you're going into a place where you might meet resistance or negative emotions or feelings, surround yourself with pink or white light. Take a moment. People think that meditation, that you have to sit in silence for 30 minutes or you're not meditating properly. That's just simply not so. You can meditate in 5 minutes. If you go into the bathroom and you close your eyes and you just imagine the white light come, surrounding you. Imagine pink light for love. And just, a few moments of silencing your mind before going into a room can really make a difference as to whether you will react or respond to a situation that you might not be positive.
Excellent. Well, when I meditate, I don't meditate in total silence. I like either sounds of the ocean or, I'm a big fan of, whales, dolphins. These sounds, for some reason, appeal to me.
Yes.
And
but if you don't have time to do that, because I do that as well.
Yeah.
If you don't have time to do that, don't be a perfectionist like Granny.
No.
She's good at everything.
No, that's not
Everything.
true. That is absolutely not true.
And if you don't have time to do that, it's okay. 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever you need to do to collect your thoughts and go on into your day or whatever.
So I know, so I come from a family where, a lot of this kind of stuff was very normal and practiced often. How did your family take it?
Well, my grandmother on my father's side, I had not met yet. She was into Santeria. That's something I don't subscribe to, and it's something I do not suggest. A lot of people have, there's a stigma around metaphysics and a stigma around the supernatural. Supernatural just means that it's it's supremely natural. It's natural, supernatural. And Grandma was a little bit off her gourd, and I would often tell her, we don't do that. We don't put spells on people. It's so simple. You don't need to surround yourself with a bunch of crystals or wear bags of bird poop around your neck for, to stave away evil spirits. You use energy, and that energy comes from within, from above, throughout. And I was telling Grandma, what we do now is we send light and love to the people that we're having a hard time with. If you're having a hard time with someone, imagine them and then take deep breaths and blow out pink light towards them in your mind. It really not only diffuses the pain or feeling or anxiety that you might be having towards that person, but also when you see them again, you're going to notice a big difference because energy is powerful. Energy is all we have.
I have a similar practice that I do whenever I'm having conflicts with people, and I take in that big deep breath like this, and then I exhale, fuck you! And they immediately go away. And that works for me.
And that is so fine too. As long as you're a feeling of intention. See, the law of attraction is something I've been studying along with my mediumship and my metaphysics. Is in 3 parts. I have vision boards. I teach vision boarding, and I know a lot of you out there know what vision boards are.
Yes, in recovery, we had to. There was a class that we took in recovery where we designed vision boards of what we wanted our life to look like in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, a year. We didn't go too far into the future because they said don't be tripping too far into the future. And you would see some people, they would have these mansions and cars, and I'm thinking, seriously, you think that's all going to happen in a month or 2, huh? And they say, a girl can dream.
That's right.
You know?
And that's exactly what law of attraction is. It's the theory of relativity. What you send out comes back. So whatever you say or feel or do, it's all energy. So especially our words. But step 1 of law of attraction is, what is it that you would like to create? You think about what it is you want to create. If you have a vision board, put the things on the vision board that you would like to have. A man, a woman, love, a house, a car, and then write the characteristics you would want in your partner. And then every day take 5 minutes and just think about how does that feel? Step 2 of law of attraction is feel the feeling of what it feels like to already have that. What does that feel like? Imagine what it would feel like to be loved unconditionally, to have all your dog as a child, and she died 2 years before I was born. So later on, she was more open to my gifts and became metaphysical herself. So, you know, over time, it became something that they were just used to. They did take me to the psychologist, and the psychologist just told her that I was lying and that I wanted attention. Honestly, I could really care less, because I saw lots of things. I saw fairies, I saw angels, and by the way, angels, yes. By the way, other than
a fairy and an angel.
other than live earth angels like Franny, there are angels, and you're born. You have like from 3 to 5 angels that you're born with. From the time you're born to the time you die, they're with you at always, and you can call upon them for anything. And I do a special angel meditation. It's real simple. You just meditate. You imagine yourself in a place that you would like to that you go to a place in your mind that you feel is your special place. It could be like on the ocean, on top of a mountain, in a tree, wherever. And then as you close your eyes and you're sitting in your special place mentally, start to see someone coming from a distance. As you see that person coming from a distance and they get closer and closer, what do they look like? What shape do they take? Are they male? Are they female? As they get closer and closer, you're going to start to see an actual, you can actually see their face. And then as they get close up, you're going to be quite surprised that your angel is going to reveal themselves to you. And then ask them what their name is. Clear your mind. Clear your mind, and the first name that you get is your angel's name. So I teach that in my workshops.
Wow.
And it's pretty powerful.
And so how long have you been teaching?
Well, now I said 15, but actually I've been studying metaphysics for 40 years. Law of attraction, metaphysics, mediumship, EFT, 15 years massage therapy, just, you know, all the healing modalities. And teaching for about 20 years, I guess. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I did not want to be a medium. I really did not. But people kept calling. And so I decided to set small groups of people, and I would just go to the house. I didn't know them, and did a short meditation, and they started showing up.
There you go.
They started showing up. Yeah, I don't know if anyone out there is interested in mediumship or metaphysics, but if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Right? There you go.
Yeah.
So, I think one of the things that I've always been very, very close to you, and have found not only sought spiritual advice from you, but real life advice from you. And the thing of it is I know the program has taught me that we learn to live, love, and grow, and that life takes us to different places, and we learn to roll with that. And so Sabrina is getting ready to move away, and while that in the short term that kind of hurts a little bit, but I do wish her the absolute best, and I always think that you should follow your dreams and follow your heart. And
thank goodness nowadays with technology the way it is, we'll be able to FaceTime. I'll be able to watch the Bougie Duchess every morning. Please wish her a happy birthday. Oh my gosh, during this time where we can't go out and see our loved ones, having a birthday all by yourself can be kind of a bummer. So, reach out to one another and pick up the phone and call someone that you know is alone, an elderly person or not an elderly person, or people like us, and just ask us, hey, how are you doing? And then listen. We can do so much for one another, and it doesn't really take much at all. But, so mediumship has been a part of my life. I do see spirits, and now I see spirits in, I call him the 5 Clairs, because I've met John Edwards a few times, and he's the real deal, and he's one of my favorite mediums of all time. Kim. I have Lisa Williams, and yeah, there's another one I like. I'm not too keen on that New Jersey one. I don't know. She kind of gets me, but I love John Edwards. He's amazing. And there's the 5 clairs. You know, the senses. You might smell things. You might hear things. You might feel things. You might see things, and you might
Tactile. Feel.
Tactile. So feeling, hearing.
Those are all of my hallucinations.
Touching. But when you're not on anything and you see them, then what? That's called medium.
I call it flashbacks.
I know.
I'm burning a fat cell that's got some LSD in it.
Could be.
Yeah.
But you know, everyone has a sixth sense. Everyone has the ability to see, feel, and hear spirits or energy. But it really takes a sense of knowing oneself. When I was thrown into living alone, which you've lived alone for a long time, so you get to spend a lot of time with yourself, and you better be.
I like myself.
That's what I was gonna say.
I like myself.
If you're not friends with yourself, make friends with yourself.
Yeah,
Love
I do.
yourself.
I like myself. But this COVID-19 isolation thing, where it's forced and mandatory, not necessarily it's voluntary, but in some degree it feels forced because I care about my health. I care about my health. I have a responsibility to take care of my beau, and it's just a very, very important situation. I try not to get sick for just any old willy-nilly reason, I was so surprised. I read an article the other day in the news. It wasn't the newspaper. It was on the news. These inmates were specifically trying to catch COVID-19 so that they would be released from jail. It doesn't matter that it's wrong. It's just, how crazy is that thinking that you would risk life and limb,
I don't think most of us are afraid of dying. I think we're afraid of living. And that's what I have in the future. Dying is like, no problem.
That's the easy part.
Living, that can get kind of scary.
That's been the complicated.
But what's interesting is, now that you mentioned, not to loop back into meditation, but I want to talk about we have 4 levels of sleep state. Theta, alpha, theta, and delta. Delta being the deepest sleep. Well, REM is the deepest sleep. But delta is the deepest you can go into and still remain kind of lucid, half awake, half asleep. One of the things that you can do if you have a hard time meditating is listening. Pull it up on YouTube. It's absolutely free. Listen to theta, delta frequency waves. I sent Franny one, and it only took her a year before she actually listened to it.
I live by them now, though. I put them on all the time for my beau. When I leave the house, I put on delta waves, binary waves,
Isn't that
all
awesome?
the time.
She's doing it.
I swear by it. And when I have trouble sleeping, which is most of the time, I have trouble sleeping, I put that on because I'm online all the time, and so yes.
And they use them in sleep studies, and what they literally, theta and delta literally slows down the brainwave pattern. Slows down your brainwave pattern, so you're able to relax. And if you're having a hard time relaxing right now, I strongly suggest, and there are so many to choose from out there, find a nice theta delta, frequency waves. They're frequency waves. They're now learning that scientists and doctors are now confirming that it's called the 11th harmonic, which what that means is it's one frequency wave is at 001 and the other one is at 1100. Those 2 frequency waves combined have actually been proven to break down cancer cells in the body. So delta frequency waves have been known to reverse age reversal.
Ooh.
Listening to 40 hertz frequency waves helps with memory. As you get old, my mother, she's starting to lose her memory. The reason people lose their memory isn't because, sometimes it's because of a genetic disease, but a lot of times it's because as we get older, we get more, not lazy, but we get slower. We don't have to think all the time. But if you listen to 40, hertz frequency waves, what that does is it helps it fires off the neurosensors in the brain and helps to retain that healthy memory system that you have.
Well, I know for a fact the brain operates on waves.
Yes.
So
Oh, that's
electromagnetic waves.
Exactly.
So it puts off. It's a very low grade electromagnetic wave, but yeah, that's the way the brain transmits energy and thoughts and
It's so
functions.
true. It's so true. And we are so sensitive. A lot of us are extremely sensitive. And we walk into a room and no one has to say a word, and all of a sudden you're just like, something feels icky here. I don't know what it is. And it's because you're picking up on energy. And then, when you're new at picking up on energy, you might think that it's you that doesn't feel so hot, but it's not you. It's something else. And that's why I was talking about surrounding yourself with white, pink light and going into a room. And, families have to live really close right now. And I've spoken to a lot of people that are just like, if they are not having a good time living with their families and their kids.
Well, I love my family dearly. I just don't like them. I would hate to have to live with my family.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I mean, I love them, but I just don't like them enough to want to be around them 24 hours a day.
That's right.
That would be just a little too much. And the thing of it is that I'm just so used to doing whatever it is that I want without consideration. And this is very selfish. I'm a very self-centered individual. I'm a very selfish person. I am not interested in how are you feeling. No. I turn on the AC. I didn't even ask you what temperature you wanted it at. I just said I need it because of the sound and blah blah. And
but this is how intuitive she is. She knew I was having a hot flash.
but I just the thing of it is I've just been so stuck in the me groove that I don't know that I would really function well in any other. Of course, Bo is the experiment.
Well,
he's the experiment in unconditional love.
Part of what I teach too is we have to our sobriety, our whatever, your peace of mind, even if you're not one of us, is contingent upon a daily reprieve of your spiritual condition, whatever that means. And so you need on a daily basis to get up and do something to put yourself, take care of yourself. Be gentle with yourself, love yourself. Take that time to meditate and, focus on positive affirmations or whatnot. It's just so extremely important to do that. And then see what you can do for another person. Daily meditation is mandatory for us. You don't stay full off of yesterday's dinner. Right? You have to eat every day. So it's pretty much the same for me. I can go to a meeting and leave and say, oh my God, that was the most amazing meeting I've ever been to. And someone will ask me, really? What was it about? I don't know. What did they say? What did you hear? I can't remember, but it was awesome. Because we remember how we feel. Feelings are...
Well, it's the energy.
It's the energy.
It's the energy that is transmitted. And I miss that. And, I've been doing a lot of these meetings in Zoom. And this is the wonderful thing. I've been doing meetings in Miami, Toronto, all over the place.
She's a worldly woman, let me tell you.
But I've not left beautiful sunny downtown Van Nuys, and all of a sudden, I'm doing meetings all over the place. And
that brings me back to, but when you said Miami, I thought of water. That's one of the things I teach is, there is have you ever heard of Emoto water?
Emoto water?
I make Emoto water. Okay, so he passed away a couple years ago. Dr. Emoto was a scientist. His pictures are up in the Metropolitan Art Museum. Water, he takes droplets of water and he subjects them to different words. Now, mind you, our bodies are over 70% water. That's why it's so important that we watch our words and our feelings and how we're thinking. Because Dr. Emoto would take water droplets or bottles of water or even the rice experiment. You can find this on YouTube. He would wrap the words around the water or the rice, like love, happiness, freedom, God, peace, and that water or that rice would stay fresh for days and days and days. And then he would do another glass of rice and he would put words like hate, anger, and then he would take, a sample of that and put it under the microscope. It would be distorted. And the words that were, wrapped with words like love and peace and happiness looked like snowflakes. Beautiful. So then they took photography of these water droplets that were subjected to different words and they blew them up. And so can you imagine if your body is over 70% water and you're thinking or speaking negatively, and it's no matter what's going on around you, what you want to do is maintain a sense of peace and love for yourself. You're not doing it for the other person. You're doing it for yourself. So what I do is I make Emoto water, and you can do this at home. What I do is I take a plastic, a water bottle that's already got water in it, or you can put water in it.
Does it have to be clear?
It has to be clear.
Okay.
You take all the labels off, and then take a piece of paper, just like this, just a piece of paper, and write down words. I write love, prosperity, peace, weight loss. Oh shit, I need everything. And I write it all. And then I take it and I wrap it around my water bottle and I tape it. And I set it next to my bed. And I have a couple of, geosite crystals also that I place there because as you know, they actually use quartz crystals in radios. So just the crystals itself can get amazing energy. And then that water is reading those words. It's amazing, truly amazing. I personally have never put any of my water under a microscope because.
Well, in one of my sociology classes, we saw that they did an experiment where they were freezing water to different music.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
the water that they froze to classical music, you should have seen the crystallization that
Exactly.
happened
Mm-hmm.
compared to the water that was frozen to like headbanging rock and roll
Right.
music. Now, not that I thought that it was just dramatically different. The headbanging frozen water was truly shattered and
Oh yes, yes.
and spread out. But I thought it had its own type of beauty.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't want to be so shattered.
No, but I mean.
I prefer
Yeah.
the classical look, but
Yes. Yes, and that's Dr. Emoto. And just Google it
Dr. E.
Dr.
Moto.
Emoto. E-M-O-T-O.
Okay.
Emoto. And I'm pretty
That should be very interesting.
Pretty sure that's how you spell it. But if you look up the rice experiment on YouTube, you can watch yourself how he takes rice or water and then does that very thing, just subjects it to the words. I think it's fascinating. I love the combination of science and spirituality, and which brings me to Dr. Greg Braden. He is like a scientist who's spiritual. I love him, love him, love him. And one of the stories that he told is that one of his friends lived in a part of Arizona that was extremely dry. And he asked Greg Braden to please come up and pray for rain. Greg being a scientist, he said, okay, he wants me to help him pray for rain. So he goes up, they walk and they walk and they walk through these very sacred paths that, not everyone is able to walk through. And they get to the top and they're overlooking this canyon. And it's extremely dry. They haven't had rain in an awful long time. So Greg is standing there with him and he's thinking, I'm praying for rain. And his friend walks over to the edge and he's there for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And then he turns around and he says, I'm hungry. Let's go get something to eat. And Greg says, I thought we came to pray for rain. And he said, no. If you pray for something, what you're saying is that it doesn't exist. Greg said, that's interesting. Well, what did you do when you were standing there? He said, I closed my eyes and I imagined the rain hitting the adobe. I imagined the smell of what it would smell like, the rain. I imagined my feet, in the mud or on the grass and the water around it. And he said, and I visualized what that would look like and what it felt like. So essentially, he was practicing the law of attraction. A couple days later, it rained, but like it rained so much, it was almost too much. They did receive the rain. And so Greg calls him up and says, well, you got rain. How do you control the amount of rain you get? He said, you can't.
Right.
You can't.
Well,
yeah.
but deserts are known to stay dry for great lengths of time,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it does rain, it floods.
Rains a lot, yeah.
It floods.
But,
and that's the ecology of a desert.
That's true. But
Just like here,
you
we're
say-
known for wildfires.
Yeah, this is true. But the whole law of attraction piece on that is that his friend didn't ask for something. Because, when I was growing up, I thought prayer was asking for something. But it's really not. It's really just thanking for that thing that you want and knowing that it's there for you and that it will manifest. Maybe not in a way you want it to, but in a way that it should. Your highest and best. And that's kind of how
I stopped praying for things a long time ago. I always felt like those things, they're going to show up.
Absolutely. That's
You
law of
know,
attraction. You're just saying,
for me,
thank you.
Yeah.
And you
the
know what?
prayers are different now. Prayers are for, good health, longevity.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about law of attraction is that, I'm not a religious person. I'm very spiritual. I happen to dig the teachings of Jesus because he was a metaphysician. Not the Jesus that some of the churches are trying to, portray him as. But if you
The white man?
Yeah, but if you really
The white man?
if you really go back and see look up the lost Gospel of Thomas and all the chapters that they took out of the Bible that were so amazing. The Gospel of Thomas it's not even in the Bible, but he teaches about law of attraction. And even Yeshua, or his real name, he's like, look, you can do these works and greater works if you have the faith. I mean,
Sure.
they told, those poor religious people totally missed the point as to what his, he even died and came back and went, okay, see, there's no death, folks, and still, a lot of people unfortunately don't get it, and they just think that he came back because we're just horrible, awful sinners, It's really sad, and that is so sad, because he was the most grooviest metaphysician, one of the most grooviest metaphysicians that I know, Dalai Lama, anyone that teaches on love, I think, is a pretty amazing person.
Sure.
Love is love. And that's the other thing. People think that there's different types of love, but honestly, I'm going to tell you right now, I believe, this is just my own personal belief, there's only one kind of love, and that's that unconditional love. The kind of love you have to grow. The kind of love that, hey, no matter what someone does, you still love them. You might not like everything they do, but you love them. And to me, that is love.
There you go. One love. That sounds like an excellent note for us to end on.
We have to end. Do you have any questions out there on the supernatural or mediumship?
I don't know. Do any? So, this is what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and for my viewers, I'm going to put out there how they can get a hold of you by putting your Facebook name, Sabrina, God's Girl. And so if you're interested in a reading, did I spell that right? God's Girl? Yes.
Yeah, God's girl. I guess so. Or you can just give them
There
my
we
email.
go. There we go. So, if you're interested in a reading or metaphysics or anything,
Question. If you have a
question or the spiritual realm, please reach out to Sabrina. You could, I would say, search through my friends list, but right at the moment, my friends list, oh my God, it just got crazy in these last 2 weeks. Oh God, I started this Bougie Duchess thing, and all of a sudden, they came from Timbuktu to be friends with me, which is wonderful. It is the blessing of you have to find the blessing in everything that happens. And, while COVID-19,
In itself wasn't so great.
isn't so great, yeah,
Really, really wonderful things
came out of it, and we've learned to effectively work on social distancing and still stay
Hey,
connected.
You know what? With my ex-husband, I'm like, after this COVID is over, you still stay 6 feet from me.
And I can cheers to that.
Okay.
Yes, cheers to
Some
that.
people you love close up, and some people
You gotta love from 50 feet away.
or miles.
Yeah.
Depending. But love is really the key. Love is the key. Do it for yourself. You forgive others, do it for you. Not for them. Do it to set yourself free. And I welcome any questions. Please say hi to me. I don't post a lot of personal stuff on my Facebook, but you can email me, Sabrina Sirott, S-I-R-O-T-T, Sabrina, S-A-B-R-I-N-A, S-I-R-O-T-T 65 at yahoo.com. Yeah, just
Wait, I can put that up too.
I'm a teacher and I love to teach, and
SABRINASIROTT, right?
65
65
at Yahoo.
at Yahoo.
I think the more we can teach, because everyone is a teacher, essentially. I really believe everyone is a teacher, and everyone has something they can offer. And if we share that with each other, can you imagine what the world would be like if we just share what we know, teach what we know, just spread love instead of opinions.
Right, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the world would be a better place, that's for sure.
I got lots of opinions, but
Well, we all have opinions, and I
They're my
think
business.
it's but we learn a little something
Yeah.
from each other by having an opinion. We learn that people look at the world from a different point of view, and I appreciate a solid opinion,
Absolutely.
and look at what kind of opinions I have, and from multiple perspectives.
Right.
Right. I've made it absolutely no secret. I've gone through a sex change, so I have the ability to look at the world not only through a little boy's eyes, but through a man's eyes, through a woman's eyes, through a transgender's eye. I understand the world from a very unique perspective, and that is valuable.
It really is valuable, because I don't think, we're spirits. We're spirits having a human experience.
I agree with
And
that.
that experience is really up to you. It's really what you want. So for yourself, choose the best. Choose love for yourself. Be kind, be gentle, and learn to forgive yourself for all those crappy things you thought you did. That right there is the key to freedom, because I could not forgive another person until I was able to set myself free and forgive myself. And that's how it starts. It starts with us. We can't transmit something we haven't got, right? Gotta see to it that our own house is in order. Do it for you. Do it for you. And love yourself. Love yourself a lot. I put sticky notes up all the time, positive affirmations. Back to the whole Dr. Emoto thing.
I used to do sticky notes when I was in college. Oh my God, during midterms and finals, this place would be filled with sticky notes.
I love that, because, and spend time in the mirror telling yourself, I love you, you're my friend,
Just brushing my teeth.
You're my friend. I'm sorry that I put you, through this or that, or I'm sorry I placed you through, difficult, sad. I'm sorry that you had to go through what you went through. Talk to yourself, become your own friend. If there's one thing that this COVID has given us is the opportunity to spend a whole lot of time with ourselves. So make use of it. Get online. Look up all those fun things that we talked about today. The motor wonder, delta frequency waves, and expand your mind. Enrich your thoughts. Make your world a better place.
And remember to have a little bit of café con leche,
Or a lot.
or a lot. So this is the Bougie Duchess. wishing you guys a fantastic day. I'll edit this video a little later and I will post it to YouTube. Remember to like the video and to subscribe to the channel. And peace out.
Ah, that was so fun. Thank you.
Thank you.